a listener production.
Hey, Bension Siebert here for the briefing. March 10th. That's the deadline Israel has given Hamas to release the remaining hostages, or else Israel will launch a massive troops-on-the-ground invasion of Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah. This threat is terrifying people all over the world. But why is Rafah different? Already, Israel's assault on Gaza has killed at least 29,000 people in what it says is a manhunt to destroy the Palestinian terrorist group Hamas after it killed 1,200 Israelis and took around 240 hostages on October 7 last year. Why is this causing world leaders, including our own PM Anthony Albanese and US President Joe Biden, both strong supporters of Israel, to publicly urge Israel not to go down this path? When Israel launched its assault on Gaza late last year, it ordered civilians to evacuate south. Rafah is Gaza's southernmost city, right on the border with Egypt. 1.4 million people are sheltering in tents and overcrowded buildings in Rafah. Satellite images show Egypt is building up defences to prevent these people from fleeing into its territory. There is nowhere further south to go. It is the last refuge for civilians in Gaza.
When I go to these shelters, I feel speechless. I cannot describe how hard it is to be in a tent with children, with kids, without the essentials, without milk or even diapers for the kids, and without even food. Here we are relying on canned food.
That's the voice of 26-year-old Palestinian journalist and translator Aseel Mousa, telling us what she's doing to survive on the ground in Rafah right now. It's incredibly difficult to make contact with people in Gaza. It's an active war zone, making phone and internet connections there unreliable and unsteady. But just hours ago, we managed to get in contact with Aseel, who's sheltering with the surviving members of her family in Rafah. Because of the internet connection, we couldn't record a live interview with her, but we sent a series of questions, and she sent us the voice recording that you're about to hear. We asked her what life was like in Gaza before Israel launched its offensive, how she has survived, the losses she has suffered, her hopes for the future, and her message to people like us, watching on from the outside world. Although Aseel works as a journalist, we asked her to tell her own personal story in her own words. We believe it's vital to bring you stories of the real people suffering in these conflicts, and we will endeavour to bring you more personal stories like this from across the region. But for now, here is Aseel. And a warning, this audio might be confronting to some listeners.
Actually, my life used to be pretty calm. I would wake up each morning, head the gym, then head to my office, where I worked as a freelance journalist and translator. I used to spend about 7 hours in my office each day. And then outside of work, I loved spending time with my family and occasionally going to the beach. Actually, going to the sea was something I really enjoy. But things changed drastically since the beginning of Israel's genocide on the Gaza Strip. Now I am in the city of Rafah, in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. On 13th of October, the Israeli authorities ordered the residents of the north of the Gaza Strip to relocate their homes and to go to the south of the Wadi Gaza. So my family and I took the decision to go to the south. Actually, we were displaced in Al-Maghazi refugee camp for about 80 days. When we relocated our homes, we didn't take anything with us but our IDs and passports. And actually, the displacement circumstances in Al-Maghazi were really dire. We were suffering in getting food, water, and even medicines. And even the Israeli occupation claimed the area of Al-Maghazi refugee camp in the middle of the Gaza Strip as a safe area, but it wasn't at all. At Al-Maghazi refugee camp, the Israeli bombardment and the Israeli shelling, I was hearing the sounds of the Israeli bombardment every day and even every hour. And in Al-Maghazi, which was claimed as a safe area, Israel bombed the house of my cousins and killed 9 people of my relatives. The majority of them were children and women. And also in Al-Maghazi, Israel targeted the only bakery there. The Israeli occupation also bombed the UNRWA schools, which were like shelters for the displaced people from the north of the Gaza Strip. And after enduring almost 80 days of displacement in Al-Maghazi, my family and I were forced to relocate once again, and this time to the city of Rafah. This move was prompted by the escalation of Israeli airstrikes in the central region of the Gaza Strip. And actually, the situation in the city of Rafah is catastrophic, as over 1.3 million Palestinians are now displaced in Rafah. And we all face severe shortages of food, running water, and potable water. Additionally, Israel cut off electricity, communication lines, and internet access. Actually, being isolated from the whole world makes us feel that we will be killed without the whole world know about us. So we struggle in getting food or water as there are limited quantities of such essentials. And for myself, I am displaced in a refuge house with about 50 people in the same house, while thousands of people are now in tents in the streets and in UNRWA schools. And as a journalist, I visited these shelters, which are not safe at all. When I go to these shelters, I feel speechless. I cannot describe how hard it is to be in a tent with children, with kids, without the essentials, without milk or even diapers for the kids, and without even food. Here we are relying on canned food, and actually we eat just to survive and to stay alive, as there are no enough food. And actually the situation is getting harder after Israel threats of the ground invasion in Rafah. I cannot fathom how the people will deal with it, or where will they go, as there are no safe places in Gaza. So the 1.3 million Palestinians displaced in Rafah have no any other destination. For example, me and my family were displaced twice since the beginning of this genocide. And other people were displaced for 4 times or even 5 times. They are not warning people that they will kill them or they will bomb their homes or buildings. And absolutely, I don't think of leaving Palestine forever, but I think of evacuating the Gaza Strip as soon as possible, as I cannot endure the hardship if I lost anyone of my family. Actually, the world listened to our suffering, and the people witnessed the Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip through social media, through the media outlets, through the posts and tweets and videos that journalists are publishing every day. but we don't feel that the world know anything about what we live. The world is silent. The international community and the international law are biased with Israel. What's happening in the Gaza Strip is nothing shorter than genocide. But if a ground invasion just happened in Rafah, it will be a catastrophe, with more than 1.3 million Palestinians displaced in Rafah. The city now is crowded with people, with children, with women, with civilians. So if Israel invaded the city of Rafah, the whole world will witness so many massacres. People in Rafah don't know where to go, where to evacuate, where to be displaced again. And I hope that the Israeli genocide will stop immediately, and that Palestine will be liberated from the Israeli occupation forever, and the people of Palestine live a life full of peace and love. The Palestinian people deserve shining future. They deserve a calm life. People here are innocent. They are under occupation since 1948. We in Gaza are under Israeli blockade since 2006. The Palestinians in the West Bank are witnessing different kinds of Israeli violations every day and every moment. I just hope free Palestine.
Aseel Mousa there, joining us from Rafah a few hours ago. We're working to bring you more of these personal stories from people suffering conflict in the Palestinian territories, in Israel and across the region. If you know anyone willing to share their personal story, please get in touch. The best way to reach us is on Instagram. You can find us at The Briefing Podcast and send us a DM. That's all for today's afternoon episode of The Briefing. We'll be back in your feed from 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'm Ben Siebert. Thanks for listening.